So what we're going to talk about today is how to feed your revenue beast. Revenue beast, I choose this picture because I think we need to emotionalize what we are doing. And so it might make sense to think about your business as some kind of pet, or hopefully it grows and then it's a beast. And so you can really feed it, and if you feed it well, it will grow, and then you're much better off than if it stays a small cat or puppy or whatever. So feed your business beast. But before I go there, just a short introduction for those who don't know me, don't know us. It might not be too many in this room, but I wanted to say the Advanced Interactive Media Group, or AIM Group, we are consultants and publishers of the Classified Intelligence Report. We exist then, I think, 15 or more years meanwhile, and we publish this classified intelligence reports. We have a still small team spread all around the world, and it has one focus: to check what's going on in interactive classifieds and to let you know, either as a reader of our reports or as customers to our services. So this is how the reports look like. Some of them are special, some of them are regulars, and the last one is this one is the Big Five battle globally, and it's a big report this time, and it looks deeply into what is happening with the classified industry, and we are seeing it has changed a lot. So now we have those global companies that are fighting each other like mad to grab the classifieds worldwide. And we have financial investors going in there, some of them are portrayed there, and we have a bunch of good sites that have still good ideas, and this is what we are talking today. Yes, this is myself and me, and Peter Solman, you know him, he sends his best greetings, and he couldn't be here. But this was just to show what we are doing. Today's focus is clear on revenue-generating ideas in classifieds. So let's first have a look at numbers. There's money in digital classifieds. So we are looking each year at what Craigslist is doing, and Craigslist in the US is kind of a non-profit, non-capitalist organization. Nevertheless, they are earning money, and they are earning real money. Our estimate of the 2013 revenues is 167 million US. They had, that's 32% up from last year. And this is just because they added some monetization models. They added 9 markets where they charge now for help wanted ads. They started to charge a small fee for ticket ads. And they continue to charge for some other stuff. But this is still not what they could do. They are monetizing on a very low level, but nevertheless, they are producing good rates. Is this innovative? You may ask. Probably not. But it creates a 79 to 84% profit margin. And this probably is a business what you want to have. I was in London these days, and we were all discussing what are they doing with these revenues, because this is really intransparent. The founder, Craig Newmark, has a charity that doesn't get all this money. We just don't know, but we know they have a lot of money in the bank that they don't use for anything that is known. Okay, you say that's perhaps something you could look at, and you don't have to be innovative. No, you don't need to reinvent the wheel to be innovative. So there's a big difference, perhaps I should say, between inventing something and being innovative. because you don't need to invent anything to be innovative. You just have to combine it and present it in a better way and make use of it. And we've heard already today of a lot of good methods to make innovation happen in your market and to offer better services to your customers that really can be called innovative. Okay, but back to your business. You're probably not in the position Craigslist is, but this shouldn't prevent you from being innovative, creating revenue, grow revenue, and there are different points where you have to look at. First of all, of course, is your market. And your market is very specific. It can be as small as Slovenia, and it can be as big as the US or China. So you're not in the same position. And therefore, unfortunately, we today cannot talk about your markets. That's just absolutely impossible. What we can do instead is talk how to better serve your buyers and sellers. We can look at your marketing and pricing strategies and at the products you are offering. And we can look what's going on with technology and what will change and what are the next big things. Also, I think you already got a glance when I looked at the program and when I listened to the speakers this morning. There's a lot going on, and it's really... Classifieds are raising the most interest among investors on a global basis at the moment, and there's a lot of disruption going on. There are a lot of startups in this field, and you can be as innovative as they are. So we're talking about those other three topics. Let's first share a secret. The biggest secret is in generating revenue in classifieds that there is no secret. You must do what every business owner does in this field. You must listen to what the market is ready and what your customers want. And what Serge Osipov, founder and CEO of Delovoy Mir Online, that's one of the Russian newcomers, and it's owned by a media company, meanwhile, is saying is don't try to force your ideas on your customers. And that's also very important. We are hearing a lot of stuff about what you can do. But your market has to be open to it. And the only way you can find out whether it's open for it or not is try. Okay, but let's look at some examples of what sites have been doing and what in this respect and what might be done. Let's first look at Italy, at global classifieds in Italy. And the situation there is pretty challenging. We have the market leader, meanwhile, it's Subito. It's a Schibsted-owned site, and it puts a lot of effort into it. And it even called it, at its last investor presentation, the next Leboncoin. I don't know how familiar you are. You probably all are with the success of the French general classified site Leboncoin. It's among the most visited sites of the web. It creates tremendous revenue and profits, and it's growing and it's expanding its services from the general classifieds into verticals, so it's probably pretty well known. Now, eBay. eBay is also an investor in classifieds, and it's competing with you in many markets. In eBay, in Italy, it has several brands. It has two brands. It has eBay and Kijiji, eBay Classifieds and Kijiji Italy. And it recently tried to think hard about how it could come up with something more interesting for their users, and they created regional pages and premium users. So they tried to serve their customers in the various countries, parts, better than before. And it's, you might say it's ridiculous that to call this an innovation, but it's an innovation for Italy. And so you have to look at your markets and what's going on. And even if it's not innovative in the US, it might be innovative in your region, and then you can grow there and do a lot more than before. Let's look at a different market. We heard about this offer now. We have some of these companies as well in Europe. We looked at them in more depth last October, in this August. One of them is Staffel. Staffel is a mobile-only marketplace like Spock, who spoke to us in Cologne earlier this year. By the way, I don't know whether you know that Spock meanwhile has an investment from Schibsted, and they helped them rebuild their whole technology, so to really grow this business and make it happen more fast. But look at Staffel. Staffel is based in Hamburg, in Germany, and it does quite similar things. It's a free marketplace, so how should they ever earn money? And they decided, why not include a payment mechanism? And so it's still a free marketplace. You can list everything there, and you can see, if as a user, you can see what's close to you. And if you like something, you start a conversation with the seller. And this might look like this here. It's an online chat enabled through the app. And then you can buy and pay it online with one click. And you pay a small fee just for paying the whole process. So it's safer for the buyers, it's safer for the sellers, and it's just convenient, and they hope very much that they can really convince a good part of their customers to just do this. I cannot exactly tell you how well it is working because it started 2 months ago, so it's pretty new, but it's pretty impressive if you look how it works, and it's easy. And it's also not a challenge to become a bank yourself. You can work with payment providers, and mobile payment providers are mushrooming up everywhere, so it shouldn't be too difficult to find someone to do this stuff for you. Okay, you can also offer exclusive services. We heard about the community aspect, and this community aspect you can count on even for professionals, even for business people, even for realtors, for whatever. Everyone wants to be honored, and so you can offer special services. I've chosen, by the way, this real estate site from China on purpose, not because I thought you could read all this interesting stuff and you will try starting to invest in these extraordinary opportunities. I wanted to show you that the way we build websites doesn't need to be the ideal one we have in each market. So it can look very, very, very different. And just because most of our European sites and US sites look so similar doesn't need to mean this is the best way you can present your content. Okay, this Platinum Club in China was extraordinarily successful from a revenue perspective, but you will see the slides later on, so no need to read it to you. What else? I talked to Olivier Isaac recently, CEO of Le Bon Coin, just mentioned, and asked him, what does sell? And he gave me this nice quote, and he has invented these urgent offers years ago. He said he invented it, but what innovation is in urgent offers? I think the urgent button is something that really, really was a selling instrument in newspapers, in other ways, a long time. But you can make this work on an online site, and obviously he discovered one of the most urgent needs of his customers, to find a way to sell fast, to really make this happen. And it reminded me that sometimes you just need to find this need in the market, and it can make you very successful. Another thing that points in a really similar direction. I wanted to show you Mil Anuncios. Who's aware of this site in Spain? Who has heard about it? Some of you, but not enough of you, because Mil Anuncios is a site run by 6 people. It's on the market already for some years, and if you look at the design, it looks stunningly different from what a classified site we think should look like. It's all text. It looks like newspaper ads, and if you would click through, which I haven't planned yet, so for time purposes, please look at the site. Also, the categories look pretty different from what you are used to. They will show you almost all the information about one ad on the front page of the site, so there's no need to click through to get details of an ad. And if you click on them, a separate window will pop up, so you never have to leave the page. It makes it much faster. And they have some interesting other innovations. And perhaps the most interesting thing to tell you is that this has turned into a traffic machine that Spain hasn't seen before. So this site is so busy. It has, meanwhile, more than double the traffic of Segunda Mano, that's the former market leader, that has a more traditional approach. And so it is a phenomenon in itself. It's of course not as successful in each part of Spain, and there are criticism that they also have a dating category. But even if you assume that these dating sites would make up 20% of the traffic, it's still bigger than Segunda Mano. And I have it here in this revenue session because they did something very nice that you can or cannot call innovative. And so Mil Anuncios created a paid service, auto renewal with points you can. But have a look yourself. I know I'm running out of time. Let's look at marketing, pricing, products, and I tell you, pricing is as much an art as a science. So, what is what we are going to talk about? You've heard this before today. People don't decide rationally. So emotion rules, and you have to take this into account. The convenience is absolutely key. You have to save time, save money, and you need to do this on all platforms. The freemium model, we heard, doesn't serve everyone best. So that's perhaps a difficult thing to say, because we all have been trained to think that the freemium model is the one and only thing we should do. But it's not about offering one free service and then the premium add-on for those customers that are willing to pay. It looks like there's a variation of freemium that might work better for a classified site, and that says let people pay for the volume of the services you are using. There might always be a free component, but if people want to use your site more, they should pay. find a value matrix your customers understand is absolutely necessary for pricing. So you should, you see we are moving more and more into transactions and or coming closer to the transactions, and this is what customers want to pay for, and so we should move in this direction. Don't guess, test. I think that's the most important advice I have for everyone in this room, because in online and mobile and digital, we are dealing with trackable behavior. And this trackable behavior is the thing you should base your business on. Because data is powering the next level of personalization that I think you've heard about. And I can't say how important this is. It's really the one thing, it's a game changer that is ahead of what we are doing. And it allows us, this personalization issue we just heard about, allows us to really get closer to the customers, get closer to the customer satisfaction. How does everything look like in the long run? We should be so pessimistic. This is what I'm hearing all year. You should realize that, as we heard earlier, you're not at the end of the business. We are in a transition stage. And I wanted to share one learning from Martin Enderle. He's the head of the Scout Group, you know, the big German site that is up, holding that is up for sale. It runs Immobilien Scout, probably the most profitable real estate site we have, at least in Europe, if not in the world. And he presented, and he said, you know, we have a 2 billion classified market in Germany, all digital classified sites, all classified sites in the newspapers together make less than 500 million in revenue. And then he said, it's a shame that we are only getting a crumble of the cake yet. And he says he wants to have a real slice. And then everybody was curious how he wants to do this, because Immobilien Scout, okay, it's only part of his group, but it's one of the biggest parts. And Auto Scout already are operating in pretty mature markets. So what the hell, how do they want to grow? And he said, we need to become the platform of services, and we need to get closer to the transaction. So today they send interested, or all of us are sending interested contacts to dealers. This has some value, but only some value. And if you send them more qualified leads, that's possible to personalization, then it's better. But in the end, you should send them contracted leads. So, for example, you should enable, like they are doing now with a new product, it's called Easy Auto, to get buyers and sellers together, and that's it. Thank you.